Well, we did it. We are at the very end of the WWE 2K game life cycle, ladies and gentlemen, with the release of the Saturday Night's Main Event Pack. It's the final one for the game. It just came out, so I got some thoughts on this, breaking it down, what's good, what's bad, as well as some of the additional content stuff that's going to be updated for the game, even before it's all said and done. Maybe talk a little 2K26. So, let's talk first about the DLC. Overall impressions. I like this pack. Now, I am somebody, I think that this pack is honestly going to be a little bit of a 50-50 for people. Some people might say that they do enjoy it, that they think it is pretty good with a few little flaws here and there. Others might say, I have zero interest in this because I don't even know who half these guys are, because I start thinking about, man, I'm getting older, and it's a whole other generation out there. Because for some, they might say this is back in the 80s, and they don't really care for older legends. They want new talent, NXT talent, and so forth. Someone's about to tell me that they want Jon Moxley in the game. Like, it's just not happening, man. So the Saturday Night's Main Event Pack is going to give you 5 superstars. We got Junkyard Dog, Tito Santana, Paul Orndorff, Jesse the Body Ventura, and Sid Justice. Now, I spent a little bit of time with this. So you've got over 50 new moves in DLC, so if you're going to go through all the move packs, you can be able to get all the different ones and assign stuff, so you can check out what's new and what's for DLC. You can see you got a bunch of new moves in there. You also have just a plethora of different taunts that you can be able to apply. And you also, with this DLC pack, if you did get it with the season pass or bought it on its own, you're going to get the My Faction cards to go with it. And like I said, this pack may not be for everybody, because if you didn't grow up in the 80s watching Paul Orndorff, Junkyard Dog, Sid, like it may not be your thing. I thought the Attitude Era pack was really great, and that spoke to me as an Attitude Era kid, and I got the Ross War sweater, so you can see where my dummy brain is at. But I do really like this pack. Is a really much a old school, a throwback. However, some of the issues with it are more so just with like aesthetics. For example, Junkyard Dog coming out, I was a little disappointed because, well, he doesn't have the chains at all. I thought that was a big omission to this. Now, I thought that they could have done this way better. Junkyard Dog's model looks pretty good. His moveset is a lot of fun. But yeah, just the entrance there, it's a little detail like that I enjoy. And like all the superstars in this DLC pack, I did like that with the Titantrons. They did give them the Retro Trons, a little splash homage for their Titantron video. It's way better than them just using standard blue WWE Legends logo and that's spinning around. So glad that they were able to do that. I think Mr. Wonderful looks, well, wonderful. I think he actually looks really good. He's actually one of my favorites throughout this. I really do enjoy his moveset. I thought Tito Santana does look fine. I mean, we're talking about trying to capture facial capture recognition of all this with all these very old legends that a lot of them are not around anymore. So the fact that they could put this together, I do think it's pretty good. Jesse Ventura, this throwback of Jesse Ventura, I think it was fine. I didn't think the model looked all that great though. And the other big thing for me is Sid. Sid was the standout for this DLC pack and the one that I had the most interest in. We'll talk about Sid a little bit more. First, I gotta thank today's sponsor. Digital frauds and scams seem to be everywhere. Last year, we had a family member scammed a large amount of money right from their bank account. They thought it was through one of their billing companies, and it turns out it was fraud, taking their personal information and their account information. If something like this relates to you, you should consider today's sponsor, Aura. Aura protects privacy by identifying data brokers that are selling your information. There's lots of security and privacy services on the market. What makes Aura better is the multiple features they offer their customers compared to the competition. For myself and my family, a secure VPN is huge, as well as real-time fraud alerts for credit and banking. My wife and I use online banking every single day and from our phones regularly, so securing our data is a high priority. Aura takes the hassle away by automatically removing your information from these websites. They also offer US-based support around the clock in case something goes wrong. Being able to use Aura directly on my phone makes everything super easy and intuitive. You can receive alerts, protection summary updates, even broker attempts made in real time right from your phone. What's great too is that in the event anything does happen, Aura includes $5 million in identity theft protection. They also have US fraud experts ready to help 24/7. Try Aura free for 14 days at aura.com/assemble. In those 2 weeks, Aura will get to work scrubbing your personal info off these data broker sites, giving you more peace of mind. So in case our family member has another scammer or privacy attack, we're going to feel way better knowing we're not leaving ourselves vulnerable, and you shouldn't either. Thank you to Aura for supporting the channel. Now let's get back to the video. So Sid Justice, not Psycho Sid. In the game, they have given us Sid Justice that's from circa, what, 1992? 91, 92, if I'm correct? And he's got the red trunks, which even I looked online, I was like, the hell is this? And then I looked and it's him versus like Hulk Hogan, and I've seen him in the barber shop and he's wearing the red trunks. And I know Sid's got a very stripped down, simple look. He's got black, he's got blue, he's got red attire and trunks, so that's not a big thing. It's just chunks. You go into community creations, you get yourself a new Sid, and everyone is happy. But I didn't really care for the entrance motion and the theme song itself. I was like, what the heck is this all about? This is not Sid. Because I'm thinking Psycho Sid. And I got Sid Justice from like the very early 90s. So it didn't really resonate with me. I was pretty let down by this. And there's some things that we can do to work around this. It's fine. I didn't care for the entrance motion. Also, the facial capture. Like, I get it. It's a young Sid that they're going for. He doesn't look as like weathered and just jacked on all of the steroids and just melting, just sweating profusely. I wanted them to do a little bit better with this facial capture, and I don't think it quite delivered. And again, the motion for this as the standard motion in the game, it's very underwhelming. You can go into the entrance creator, you could switch it out because they have Millennium Man, and that is the Sid entrance that everybody knows and loves, where he's got the Sid, the pyro coming down. Why that wasn't in there as standard, don't know. They went in this direction. I kind of feel like it was a little bit easier for them to put this together than to go with the Psycho Sid, but I do wish the effort was there. For the theme song itself, I wish they were giving us the Psycho Sid theme that I think everyone is kind of familiar with, and they didn't. I just think that that's just a huge miss. And if they can't get the copyright and the rights to that song and to that entrance theme, I understand. But at least put like the proper entrance motion all together. Like try to put the whole thing together for fans that are really interested in getting Psycho Sid and Sid Justice. Even just do like a full default alt attire. Like that's one of the things with these DLC packs across all of them. When there are certain superstars where you're like, oh, this thing's a miss. They needed to tweak the entrance, the attire, these small details. Why not just add a second alt attire for fans? Just at no extra cost instead of just one default. Maybe for Junkyard Dog, for example, the chains can be added in at a later point. But even for me, I went into Community Creations today, just day one of the DLC drop. And I went there and I downloaded Psycho Sid. I changed the entrance and all is well. So it's not a huge deal, but it is, again, it's that consistent thing with these games that they don't put in. It's like, it's almost there. Like, I almost got it, and then they don't. It is very much a throwback, right? This is 80s, early 90s for all of these legends. If you're into that, then this is probably worth your while picking up. If you are not somebody that really is familiar with them, or you think it just kind of whatever at this point, and we're also so late into the year, so many people are just like, I didn't pick it up, or I'm done, I'm not playing it anymore. Or they might just say, I'm just going to wait till next year, because a lot of these people are going to be in next year's game, into the base game. It's generally how it goes. So if you didn't pick up the season pass, you don't necessarily need to get this. You might be able to just wait until next year, or I say in a couple of months when the next game comes out, and we might get Psycho Sid, you never know, and proper Junkyard Dog. So speaking of 2K26, the game looks to be coming out in the same fiscal calendar year and schedule as it has in the years prior. So they had 2K had their earnings report, they talked about how certain games like GTA are delayed, and they talked about 2K26 very briefly and just very much high level, nothing. The game is going to be coming out, it's going to come out on time. We should expect it somewhere around WrestleMania season, as we've had it with all the previous games. The specific launch day and all that, obviously we don't know, but we'll start getting those hype, commercials and advertising in the new year, maybe around February, late February, it just depends. And then they start just building it up for when we get closer to launch. I am curious though what they're going to do for a theme for this, who the cover star will be, what the DLC will look like, all those good things for next year's game. It is onward and upward with this thing. Now, with 2K25, we're not done yet, not by a long shot. There's still more content that they are going to drop, like I mentioned. So they're done with the DLC now. Comment below, let me know what you guys think of this final Saturday Night's Main Event pack. And maybe even what's your favorite one out of all the DLCs that they have done. You can't say nothing, that's cheating. The other thing that we have coming out though is that they're not done, because they're going to keep releasing more My Faction content. Now, whether that interests you or not, I don't know, but this is it. So the one thing that they did bring out and they have mentioned is going to be released soon is going to be WrestleMania 41 version of Penta. Yes, he is going to be out there, and instead of his regular attire in the game, he now has green attire. So they have that if you are going to be interested in doing that. There is an interesting wrinkle in this that I have read and heard on the internet, and that's a dangerous thing that I'm doing, but it does talk about how WrestleMania 41 Penta model, persona model, is going to be free and available for all players to get. That doesn't mean that we're going to be able to just go in and download him for free, but what it does allude to is that they're going to make it easier for players to get him instead of just having to grind or pay to unlock this persona model. It might be in line with that of Brock Lesnar. Brock was in the game, and they had him in a My Faction live event, and you can unlock Brock by finishing a whole sequence of events to be able to get Brock Lesnar that way. This might be the same way that they're going to do this for Penta for his Mania 41 attire. But again, don't grind it if you don't have to, because they'll probably put out Mania 41 Penta maybe as his default for next year's game. If they're changing this though with personas in My Faction just slightly, or giving certain superstars different options, not having to grind things out as hard, and they're making it more accessible, I'm all for it. Make it more accessible, because it's just ridiculous how hard and how costly some of these personas are going to be. But it is, at the end of the day, it's going to be a persona. I would go and just check out people like What's the Status, for example. Shout out to that good man. But he's going to be able to have things along with other creators of just, well, we took the white attire for Penta and we made it green. People are going to be able in the community and be able to just recreate this entirely, though you don't necessarily have to grind out. Community creations will be your best friend for it. 2K25 had 5 DLC packs, and there's a lot of hit and miss in there. I'm probably going to do a full video breakdown talking about this maybe a little bit more in depth. But high level, what was your favorite pack that you got? And did all of them overall deliver for you or not? I think one of the biggest issues that 2K had when it came to additional content this year was the celebrity piece. And that seems to stick out a lot with these packs that they do. It was front loaded a lot with celebrity stuff. Travis Scott was rumored to be one of the superstars in the packs, and then that all went down and, well, he wasn't in the game. Then we got El Grande Americano. That's cool. But even that now is kind of outdated because it is no longer Chad Gable. And like a lot of these packs, there's some superstars in each that are really great. Stephanie Vaquer, Julia, the Attitude Era pack for me. Those are the things that I enjoy. Duncan Destruction pack, meh. There's certain elements of the packs that aren't that very fun. And I think the model itself is starting to feel pretty dated. That it is something that has been going on and on forever, it feels like, in the way they do the packs. 2K25, though, they should be giving us more island updates and content there. I'd be curious what they do. That was another thing they did this year, where they gave us Nikki Bella and they gave us Goldberg and the island. They had the Wyatt 6 is like the pre-order bonus content, which feels like a lifetime ago. But let me know your thoughts. What did you think of the Saturday Night's Main Event pack? Did it work for you? Is there interesting stuff in there? Stuff I missed? If you guys want to talk more WWE topics, we have another channel, second channel, Assemble Wrestling. So if you want to, I got the link in the description. You guys can click over there if you want to. We're talking just big WWE topics every single day. Raw, SmackDown reviews, PLEs, all that good stuff. Have a great day. See ya.